All right, there we go. Red light's on. I'm Max Allen. And it is 6:59 p.m.-ish Mountain Time. The year is 2025. The month is August. The day is the 28th. We're fast approaching September. But let's forget about that. Let's talk about something it's had me running for a while. And it has to do with the fact that many people think Mr. Trump doesn't need to send any federal troops off, to fight in New York and save the place because New York officials, including their governor, are feeding all kind of bullshit, false figures, false facts to try to convince him that crime is on the down. Crime is we don't need you, or crime is less and less. We're doing well. There's no deny that. No denying what? That they're probably lying, because that's what politicians do, is politicians frickin' lie. Now understand, there's no denying the New York City subway system is a magnet for morons, maniacs, ne'er-do-wells of every sort. Why do you suppose it is that the flotsam and jetsam of the world funnel down and go into that suckhole called the subway system? It's the second largest subway system in the world, next to Beijing, China. Now, since its opening way back in 1904, that's a history. Since 1904, these trains have been running 24/7, and the system now has 472 stations with 3 more under construction. It's like a disease. It's like a flesh-eating disease. It's getting bigger and bigger. And despite its reputation as a suckhole for the flotsam and jetsam, it still carries over 3 million riders a year, over 665 miles of track, with 6,712 cars. Now, this alone seems reason for them to have high crime under the city, in the tubes, in the subway, and let's talk about the reasons. I could go on all night with all the reasons. I'm just going to go with my favorite ones here. God, favorite disease. You got 472 stations. That means there are at least 472 places for a maniac, an activist, a killer, a robber, a Democrat, or rapist. What's the difference? Where they can lie in wait for the next victim. 472 stations, we got bathrooms, so it's probably over 900 places just in the stations where they can hide. Oh, but what about the transit police? They recently had their numbers bumped pretty high. About 3,500 employees, which means about 3,000 officers on the ground. Transit police. That means there should be about 6 officers per station on average. But because some of these stations have got incredibly high crime rates, as many as 200 of these stations, you understand, 200 at a time, lack police protection. And sometimes that lack of protection can be for a couple of days. Now, I got on the phone. I've got cauliflower ear, I swear to you. Not from boxing, but from calling. So anyway, I ferreted out Transit Authority Lieutenant David Gomez. He gave me permission to give his name because now he is retired and living in Miami. Well, let's think about it. Isn't it funny how every New Yorker, as soon as they retire, they grab the plane to Miami? Yeah, I don't blame them. Now, here is what Lieutenant Gomez says. And here's a quote. I'll try to talk the way he talks. I spent half my life as a transit cop, and it seems we've never been, on top of subway crime. Whenever we do stop a criminal, or even more rarely prevent a criminal act, it's more a matter of luck than planning. I mean, how do you plan around psychos and career criminals who only seem to want to rape, kill, or rob someone? They're like sewer rats. You'll never win the battle. They just plain outnumber us, end quote. Doesn't sound like he's full of hope. Sounds like he did the best he could, holding back a tidal wave with a spoon. Well, I've spoken with a number of other station clerks, the guys that give you tickets, cops, and maintenance people. They all paint an equally bleak picture. Hell, maintenance workers, they get called to change a light bulb, anything like that. They won't go to a station or a tunnel without a police escort. Can you blame them? Many ticket agents won't work in a station without on-site presence. Last week, they had 3 stations shut down because nobody was willing to go work the booth. Why? Because the police couldn't find somebody to protect them. A lot of businesses, major corporations, are now absorbing the cost of taxis. They're even hiring taxis on a contract to move certain personnel around the city, and they cite subway violence as the cause. They don't want their people to get mugged, robbed, tortured, or beaten. So they put them in a taxi. And if you heard yesterday's story, you can bet your ass they're not going Uber. Let's move along. God almighty. Now, reason number 2, okay. This reason, it's probably the carnival atmosphere outside of the entrances. It's like going through a fold-up street carnival. You get outside just the entrance where you walk down the stairs into the station, and you're besieged. You're surrounded by hawkers, pickpockets, thieves of every stripe. You're as likely to get mugged or robbed outside the station as inside the station. Last month, according to NYPD, over 80 people had their pockets picked, were groped, or were assaulted in the stairways leading to and out of subway stations. Gee, I'm so surprised. Are you? Oh, hell no. Now let's go to this. Another reason, not the last, but the last for tonight, is the lax response of prosecutors. You got eggplants like Alvin Bragg and Letitia James and a whole lot of others just like them. You understand this? Prosecutors are more likely to brush off such crimes as a part of city life and refuse to press charges. They won't even let the police file. Well, the police aren't stupid. They already know what is and what is not prosecutable. So rather than arrest them, bring them in, book them, do the paperwork, understand these guys are let go without bond. Often they're out of the station and on the street before the cops finished filing their reports. The prosecutors won't prosecute them. And now this new guy, Ron Dami, who wants to be the mayor, he says he's going to wipe out all misdemeanor crime. That means I can go into a store now. I can steal $100 worth of goods, whatever the money limit is, $500, $200. I can steal stuff just under that. The cops won't even look my way because it's not arrestable. If they do, the cop's going to get a black mark in his record. No prosecutor's going to try me. You believe this? No, come on. The subway system's plight and New York's justice system, they're reason enough for President Trump to send in troops and federal marshals to help the cops. I spoke with a union leader for the police union. He says they're praying for Trump to bring in National Guard, bring in people to help them. They welcome them with open arms. Their eggplant mayor and city council don't, but that's another matter. So while New York City cites dubious statistics about falling crime and increasing peace in the Big Apple, they carefully exclude any stats that relate to the subway system. I wonder why. This is reason enough for Mr. Trump to save lives and bring back the pride that once was of the Big Apple.